Ms. Alana Greene was excited about her first day as a science teacher at Riverside Academy, a prestigious private school in a quiet, affluent suburb. Alana had graduated top of her class with a master's in biology and had been passionate about teaching from a young age. However, she knew that her road would not be easy. Being one of the few black teachers in a predominantly white institution would come with its own set of challenges. But nothing could have prepared her for what would unfold in the weeks ahead. From the moment she stepped into the school, she felt it. The stares, the whispered conversations that quickly hushed as she walked by. But Alana held her head high. She had been through worse and was determined not to let any negativity affect her work. Her love for teaching was stronger than any prejudice she might face. During her first few classes, she quickly noticed a divide among her students. Some were curious, engaging with the material and asking questions. Others, however, seemed detached, disinterested, and even hostile. It wasn't long before she overheard some of the older students muttering things like, "She doesn't belong here," or "Why do we have a black teacher?" Still, Alana kept her focus. She poured her heart into her lessons, creating interactive and dynamic ways to teach biology. She believed that passion would break through the walls of ignorance. However, the resistance she faced extended beyond her students. A few weeks into the school year, she was called into the principal's office for what she assumed was a routine check-in. Principal Hargrove was an older man, well-respected in the community but known for his traditional values. "Ms. Greene," he began, his tone formal and distant, "there have been some concerns raised by parents about your teaching methods." Alana's heart sank, but she remained composed. "What kind of concerns?" He glanced at the papers on his desk, then met her eyes with a faint hint of discomfort. "Some parents feel that your presence here may not align with the values of our school." Alana was no stranger to this coded language. She knew exactly what he meant but asked anyway. "Are they concerned about my teaching methods or something else?" Principal Hargrove cleared his throat. "It's just that some feel that Riverside has a certain reputation to uphold, and they worry that changes to the faculty might disrupt the harmony we've built over the years." Alana felt a sharp sting in her chest, but she refused to let it show. "I see. And how do you feel about these concerns?" The principal hesitated, as if searching for the right words. "I think it would be best for all parties if we could find a smoother way forward. Perhaps reducing your classroom responsibilities for now, until we can address these concerns more fully." Her mind raced, and for a brief moment she considered walking out, but instead she calmly replied, "Thank you for your feedback, Principal Hargrove. I'll take it under consideration." The next few days were a blur of emotions. Alana couldn't help but notice the cold stares from some colleagues and the subtle but persistent exclusion from faculty conversations. Yet, she carried on, giving her best to her students every day, even though it felt like the weight of the world was pressing down on her. Then came the day everything changed. It started with a single note, left anonymously on her desk after her last class. The handwriting was messy, as though written in haste. "We believe in you. Don't let them win." Alana was stunned. She looked around the empty classroom, but there was no sign of who had left it. The next day, more notes appeared. Some were short. "You inspire us." Others were longer, sharing stories of how her lessons had sparked a new interest in science or how her kindness made them feel seen. These messages came from her students, the very ones who she had feared were indifferent or resistant to her presence. She realized that despite the negativity, her work was making a difference, and her students, the ones she thought weren't paying attention, were rallying behind her. Word spread quickly throughout the school, and soon Alana noticed a shift in the classroom dynamic. More students began participating, raising their hands, asking thoughtful questions. A group of students even stayed after class to discuss a science project idea with her. But the most powerful moment came one afternoon when the principal himself decided to sit in on one of her classes. Alana had been warned beforehand, but she kept her cool, treating the day like any other. The lesson was on the ecosystem and how every small element, no matter how insignificant it seemed, played a crucial role in the balance of life. As she taught, she noticed the principal watching her carefully. arms crossed. She tried not to let it distract her. Near the end of the class, one of her students, Jake, the son of one of the wealthiest families in town, raised his hand. He had been one of the students who seemed the most distant at the beginning of the year. "Ms. Greene," he began, "I just wanted to say that I didn't really care about science before, but your class has made me think about things differently. You've made it interesting, and I actually want to learn now." The room fell silent. Alana blinked, momentarily speechless. Before she could respond, another student, Sarah, chimed in. "Yeah, same here. I didn't think I'd like biology, but you make it fun. It's not just about memorizing facts. You make it feel important." Several more students nodded in agreement. Alana's heart swelled with emotion, but she remained composed. "Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Sarah. That means a lot to me." When the class ended, Principal Hargrove approached her with a thoughtful expression. "Ms. Greene, I must admit, I wasn't expecting that." Alana met his gaze, her voice steady. "I believe in my students, and I believe they deserve the best education, regardless of who stands in front of the classroom." The principal paused, then nodded slowly. "It seems your students believe in you as well. Let's have another conversation soon. This time, I think it'll be more productive." As Alana watched him leave, she felt a sense of triumph, not just for herself, but for every person who had ever been told they didn't belong. Her students had shown her that change was possible, that even in the face of prejudice, there were those who would stand up for what was right. She smiled as she gathered her things, knowing that this was only the beginning of a much larger journey. The next morning, she found another note on her desk, this one written in the same hurried handwriting as the first. "Keep going, we've got your back." And with that, she knew, no matter what came her way, she was exactly where she was meant to be. As the days went by, the support from her students grew stronger. Alana noticed that the whispers in the hallways had quieted, replaced by genuine smiles and greetings from both students and staff. Her classroom became a place of excitement and curiosity, where students felt safe to express themselves and explore new ideas. One afternoon, during a staff meeting, Principal Hargrove stood up and addressed the faculty. "I want to acknowledge the efforts of one of our newer teachers, Ms. Greene. Despite facing some challenges, she has shown remarkable dedication to her students and has earned their respect in ways that are truly commendable." There was a murmur of agreement among the teachers. Alana looked around, surprised to see nods of approval from colleagues who had once kept their distance. It was a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. But the real moment of truth came weeks later when Riverside Academy hosted a school-wide assembly. The students had been preparing presentations on various subjects, and to Alana's surprise, one group of students chose to speak about the importance of inclusion and diversity. As they presented, they directly referenced her as an inspiration. One of the students, Jake, spoke into the microphone. "We learned in Ms. Greene's class that every part of an ecosystem matters, no matter how small. We think the same applies to our school. Every teacher, every student is a part of this community, and we're stronger together." Tears welled up in Alana's eyes as the auditorium erupted in applause. She had not just taught them biology, she had taught them something far more important, the power of standing up for what's right. Her journey had only just begun, but it was clear. She had already made an indelible mark. As Ms. Greene's story shows, standing up for what's right can inspire change in the most unexpected ways. In a world where prejudice still exists, it's important to remember that small acts of kindness and courage can make a big impact. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more powerful and inspiring stories like this one. Don't miss out. Hit that notification bell and stay tuned for our next video.